World Portal. The Tales of a Night. The Night's Awakening. This story is a fantasy version of the Tale of Thunder. There are certain aspects of the story that are exaggerated and overemphasized, but 90% of it is true to the original story. Please enjoy. This story was written by Thunder and translated by Gregor Bayerclaw and read by Knight Commander of the Village of the Eighth. Book 1, Chapter 1. The tale begins. Oh, I'm sorry, you were not supposed to see that yet, so. Now, let's start from the beginning. I forget what year it was. Oh well, I will eventually figure it out. There was a boy everyone called Thunder. There are some kids we have to note. One of the children was a girl, and the girl's name was Antaomaya. Antaomaya was very nice to Thunder. Another one of the children was the prince. The prince's name was Robert Greyhound. 3 boys didn't like Thunder, they were the mean ones. Also, some kids played with all the children. 2 of the kids that played with them were named Bron and Gilly. The village was a little way away from the castle. I would say 15 to 20 lightly armored guards in the village saw if the village was attacked. It would take the castle guards 20 to 30 minutes to get there, that is if they heard the horn, or they are all dead. Oh, I'm sorry, I just can't resist sometimes. Okay, we better get back on track. I don't want to sound generic, but here I go. One day, when Thunder, Antaomaya, and Robert were in the village. Come on, Thunder, we don't have all day. We need to train, or we're never going to become warriors. Okay, Thunder, said Antaomaya. As you wish, said Thunder as he sighed. Okay, Amaya, give me 10 minutes, and if I'm not done with my work and helping people, then start without me. I'll go tell Robert. 10 minutes is okay, Thunder, said Antaomaya as she started to run away into the green woods. Then, Thunder yelled, okay, Amaya. See you in 10 minutes. My lord, your son has sneaked out of the castle and gone into the village again, said Sir Torrent. I know, Torrent. Send 2 of the guards to get him, said the king. Yes, sir. Thunder thought to himself, it's market day, lots of chores to do today. Chore list. 1. See if people need help. 2. Help mom set up the stand for the market. 3. Help Gilly. 4. Grab water for Betty. 5. Do not get in trouble. A mighty warrior. The greatest challenge he ever faced was an ancient elder bear. The bear was 5 times the size of a normal bear, and it had killed many enemies and people before the mighty warrior came along with the family sword, Red Claw. It was an ancient sword that was passed down through generations, but what the mighty warrior did was something that had never happened before. The mighty warrior had killed many monsters before, but nothing like this bear. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, this is not the right book. I'm so sorry you guys. You're not supposed to know this yet. Let me change to the right one now. There we go. Okay, let's see what chore list mother has for me today. 1. See if people need help. 2. Help mom set up a stand for the market. 3. Help Gilly. 4. Grab water for Betty. 5. Do not get in trouble. What? Do not get in trouble. She takes all the fun out of it. Okay, I will help mom first, then get water for Betty. For some odd unknown reason, the next couple of pages are missing, or they were never written in the first place. We may never find out what happened to those last couple of pages or if they were taken out on purpose. You guys will have to wait a little bit longer. I need to investigate this. Note, page number unknown. What I have done is unforgivable, but it was necessary. So I shall not ask for forgiveness. The only thing I ask is for you to live your life to the fullest and take care of RCH. Page number unknown, chapter number unknown, book number unknown. Oops, Sorry, guys. It turns out the pages were not removed, and they were written, they simply fell out of the book because the binding is falling apart. I just found them right now. Okay, back to the book. Note, Thunder's family is made up of him, his father, and his mother. Thunder's full name is Thunder Masters, and his father's name is Bryn Masters. His mother's name is Ellie Masters. But here is the odd thing, both of his parents have short, light brown blonde hair color with hazel and blue eyes. Okay, mother should be at the left side of the marketplace. I guess I should go over there and help her set up the tent before I do anything else, including going over to the Forge Master's place and working on the little project I have over there. And so, Thunder started running towards the center of the village where the marketplace was located. As people saw Thunder, he appeared like a beast of a man, running down the streets, a rather terrifying sight for those who did not know that he was simply a gentle giant. He was almost taller than everyone in the village at his young age of only 15, and stronger than most people except for the blacksmith, forge master, and a couple of others who rivaled him in strength. "Mother, I'm here!" Thunder yelled towards his mother, scaring her half to death because she was not expecting him for another 30 minutes. "Thunder," exclaimed his mother in shock. "I came here first because I did not want you to try to set all of this up by yourself. And if I would have gone to see if I could work on my project at the blacksmith's place, you know I would not remember to come here and help you or do any of my other chores. Okay, I see your point, Thunder. Now get over here and help me. Or better yet, you can do it all by yourself since you're so willing to help your poor old mother," she stared at me and said sarcastically. So that's how I ended up unloading a small cart mother brought with her, full of produce and wares, by myself while she was completely distracted talking to other people around. I had to set the tent up by myself as well, but yet again, I am used to my mother talking to everyone while I am setting up the tent. All well, that just means when I finish up, I can sneak away, do my other chores, then go to the blacksmith's place, and finally, head to the Greenwood Forest. But hush, no one is supposed to know that Robert, Amaya, and I are in the Greenwood Forest because our parents have forbidden it. For some odd reason, they say the animals will attack you if you ever go in there, but for the past 2 years, Robert, Amaya, and I have gone in and out hundreds of times and never once been attacked by any evil monsters or animals. 99% of the time, they stay away from us. Now that I am done helping Mother, I will do the second thing on my list, or my version of the list, help Gilly. She is a heavy-set girl and one hell of a cook, but the problem is she can't stop eating what she cooks. However, she would like to become a castle cook. She has to wait a couple more months until she turns the age where they will allow her in, and if they do, she will be the best cook in the castle, in my opinion. I went to her place and asked her if she needed help, but she said, not until later, so don't worry about it. Now, on to grab water for Betty. 2 buckets should be good for today. She is an older lady who can't get around that much anymore, and all she needs from me is to get her some more water. Her niece comes and takes care of her and everything else. On a completely different note, her niece is a bit cute. Now the difficult question is her or Amaya. I would have to go with Amaya. Okay, time to completely change the subject and head to the Forge Master's place. Meanwhile, on the other side of the village, 2 guards were doing their patrol, and one of the guards said, "We need to take a different route today." "But sir, this is my first day on patrol. I don't know any of the routes except the one you're taking me on." "Well, I guess that is a good point. And what is the normal route you and I would normally take on a normal day?" "Well, we would go twice around the village, then we will patrol the 4 main roads going in and out of the village. We would also go and patrol around the barrier of the Greenwood Forest to see if any beasts or animals have come out." "Wait, sir, did you just say the Greenwood Forest? That place is cursed, no one should ever go near that place." Relax, soldier. It's been around 16 years since anything like the fall of the great family has ever happened again. And ever since then, as long as you stay out of the forest, the animals inside will not come out and attack anyone. Here, let me give you an example. I'm not sure if you know about this or have heard about it, but 14 years ago, the king had an expedition of soldiers and villagers go in there to chop down a percentage of the forest because it was expanding at an alarmingly fast rate. No one came back except for a bear. A wild bear, carved in the minds of those who witnessed it. It came charging out of the forest and into a nearby village. That bear was 3 times the size of a normal greenwood forest bear. No, you can't be serious. Greenwood forest bears are the biggest bears we know of on the 8 divines earth. Trust me, I would know how big it was because that village that got attacked was mine. I was 16 at the time, and the guards there were not prepared for such a beast. Most of them were quickly killed by this wild bear. But just when everyone thought it was doom itself coming to destroy the entire village, something unexpected happened. I don't know what exactly it was, but a giant cloaked figure came charging out of the forest, holding an extremely peculiar sword. Everyone there thought it was the wild bear's master. But then he unsheathed his sword, and as he ran past me, I caught a glimpse of the blade. It said something about the forest and a guardian. Legends say that for the past, well, forever, there has been one guardian of the forest who has been able to take down such beasts, other than the great Lord Bearclaw himself. In fact, this legend predates Lord Bearclaw's family by about 10 years. That was the first recorded event of this supposed guardian of the forest ever appearing. A couple of bandits were poaching a bear in the Greenwood Forest, and why that was so wrong is because the Greenwood Forest does not belong to any earthly power. It is said that the Greenwood Forest belongs to the 8 great elder beasts. The cloaked figure quickly dispatched the wild bear, and then suddenly, 3 more bears came out of the forest and took the other dead bear back into itself. And just as fast as the cloaked figure appeared, he disappeared. So, what you're saying, sir, is as long as we do not enter the Greenwood Forest, we will be fine. For now, yes, replied Captain Barrack. So I'm sorry to pardon me for asking, but what kind of a different route are we taking? Oh, that's right. You don't know what I've been helping a friend of mine do. No, I do not. Would you mind telling me? Oh, you'll see when we get there, laughed Captain Barrack. His subordinates said, now you're just teasing me. During their modified patrol route, it took them to the forge master's place. Barrack said, hey, master, is he here yet, and is it ready? The master of the shop said, yes, he is out back, and I believe he got both of them done in time. Barrack looked over at his subordinate and said, here, hold my sword for me, and do not intervene, and whatever happens next, understand me. Yes, sir, I understand. Barrack walked towards the rear of the shop. His subordinate noticed one other person was in the backyard and noticed that there was one sword sheath leaning up against the rear of the shop. Barrack turned around and gestured to him to hush and stay there. Then he leaned over towards the sheathed sword, picked it up and slowly unsheathed the sword, and then started slowly walking towards the other person in the back. And then suddenly Barrack took a swing at this guy, and then almost as fast as he took a swing, another sword met the blade and clashed. And Barrack is not a novice at the blade, he is a skilled swordsman. Good job, Thunder, you are starting to pay attention to your surroundings. Now let's see how your blade work has gotten. They continued dueling for a couple more minutes before both Barrack and Thunder were at a stalemate. Once again your footwork has failed you, but other than that you have vastly improved over the past couple months. I bet you're practicing in secret, aren't you? All right, Barrack, we're here about the swords, not my footwork. So how is it? What do you think? Well, this time the blades did not break on the third strike. However, it's not as light as your last two, replied Barrack. Yeah, this time I used a combination of my last two swords. How was it when you went one-handed? Well, Due to your weird idea of having a two-handed sword that can be wielded one-handed and having a shorter blade, it was a bit confusing. But it was still light enough for me to wield single-handed, and it's still heavy enough to do damage when going dual-handed. So, in other words, you're saying it's good. Okay, I will admit you did a good job, and yes, I like it. Meanwhile, in the background, this observer had his jaw on the floor. Okay, we should probably get back to our patrol before the commander knows that I'm late again, said Thunder. Yes, me also. Robert and Amaya are waiting for me, and if I don't get there soon, Amaya is going to kill me. Just need to finish up some stuff here real quick before I head on out. Hey, I might even see you on your patrol, Barak. Yep, oh, say hi to Robert and Amaya for me if you would, please. 30 minutes later, something happened that Thunder would have never expected. Thunder was just finishing up at the blacksmith shop when he felt a strange feeling and started walking outside, looking towards the forest that was about 3 miles off from the village and another 5 from Greenwood Forest. Suddenly, a disfigured thing came charging out of the forest towards the village. There were a couple of guards around the village, but it was the time of day that they all did their patrols and reported into the night commander. So, at least they're all 30 minutes out from getting here, anytime soon. Immediately, Thunder grabbed the sword he made and ran towards the village square, telling everyone he saw to get out of the village and run towards the nearby fort. Fort Harbor Inn was the closest place they could get to for safety, Thunder thought to himself. His father should be out in the field working at the opposite side of town, and his mother should still be at the square if she hasn't headed home yet. He stopped one of his mother's friends and asked her where his mother was. She replied and said she went home early. All right, good. Now follow everyone else out of the village. And if you see my mother and father, tell them I'm making sure everyone is making it out of the village, Thunder said, and then he continued running through the village, getting everyone out. He looked back towards the beast charging the village. There were only 10 guards there at the time. The first 3 died instantly, and the next 2 were slammed up against a building wall. The other 5 made a shield wall with spears, trying to fend off the beast. Then Thunder put his sword on his belt and grabbed a nearby spear lying on the ground and threw it towards the beast. Note, when translating to English, some words are lost in translation, such as monster meaning beast. As Thunder deflected the spear off the beast's hard shell, another 2 guards were killed. Undeterred, he grabbed a nearby log and charged towards the monster, running right past the rest of the guards. He slammed the log into the monster's head again and again, and in response, the creature hit him back. Thunder, however, retaliated by throwing the log at the beast, hitting it in the side. The monster fell to the ground. Seizing the moment, Thunder unsheathed his sword and stabbed it through the neck, killing the beast. But as the adrenaline subsided, his vision started fading, and his legs felt weak, and his arms felt heavy. Looking down towards his stomach, he realized he was bleeding. That thing must have slashed me when it hit me and flung me backward. Well, damn it, Thunder muttered, trying to stay conscious and assess the situation. Looking back towards the forest, seeing 2 blurry figures running towards me, I tried to stay on my feet, but every second I was getting weaker and weaker. My hearing was muffled, I could hear stuff, but I could not make sense of it. Then my body felt light, and the world slowly started getting dark. Thump, ow, that hurt. The next thing I know, a couple of people are crowding around me, saying something, but I cannot hear them. Then the world goes dark again. Then I'm going through the forest, and it's bumpy. And now I'm going through a dark hall with what looks like torches. Mumble talking around me, I am slowly regaining consciousness as my eyes slowly open to a large, tall hall. Looking around, I saw Robert and Amaya, and my mother and father, but no Barak or the new guy with him. Well, they just might be out on patrol, I thought before the unexpected happened. Amaya realized I was awake and ran over and hugged me. "Ow, Amaya!" I yelled. "Oh sorry, Thunder. I'm just glad you're all right." I looked over at Robert on the other side of the bed and said, "Don't you dare." "What? You don't want two of your best friends giving you a big bear hug after recovering from being attacked?" He paused and started looking concerned. Then I looked over at my mother and father, realizing that they had the same look on their faces. Then I looked at Amaya, and she had the same look. "Oh, what aren't you guys telling me?" I asked. "Oh, Thunder, don't worry about it. All that matters is that you are all right," my mother said. "No, Mother, what aren't you guys telling me? Please." I looked over at Robert. He looked back at my mother and father, and they nodded towards him. Then he looked like he was about to say something when Amaya cut him off and said, "Thunder, I am sorry, but Barak, he is." She paused and started crying. Then Robert tried to finish what she was saying. "Thunder, he died protecting the village, right?" I said as I started looking towards Robert. "Yes, he did," he replied solemnly. "How many people did not make it out alive?" I asked. "Thunder," Amaya said, looking concerned towards me. "No, seriously Amaya, tell me." "Fine, 15 did not make it, there are still 5 or 6 still missing." "Damn, only if I reacted a little bit sooner, I might have been able to save all of them." "No, Thunder, everyone else made it out because of you. If you did not take action, they would all be dead. But anyway, Thunder, you should probably get some rest. Me and Robert will be back tomorrow to see how you are doing." "Oh, what of my sword? Do you guys have it?" "No, one of the guards you saved must still have it," said Robert. "Okay, and thank you." Then Mother looked towards me and said, "I did say not to get in trouble, didn't I? But you still did good. Now get some rest or I will send Amaya after you." "Yes, Mother, I will get some rest." As Mother and Father were walking away, I noticed that one of the guards was talking to Robert, and neither of them looked happy. Then Robert followed the guard out of the hall and through the big black doors. "Sir Torrent, report." "Yes, my lord." "The creature came from the Blackwood Forest, or at least I assume so since we have not seen any such creatures in the Greenwood. It killed 2 of the guards that were patrolling nearby and 3 farmers near a nearby forest. It also attacked a few more villagers who were running from the village. When it got to the village, it was at the time of day when all of the guards were on their patrol, so there were only 10 guards at the village at the time." Note, the translation is a bit funky at this part, I apologize. A first-hand experience from the guards that were there say the first 3 guards the monster attacked died instantly. One had his head severed, another one by the waist, and the third one straight through the torso. Then somebody threw a spear from behind all of the guards, and it deflected straight off of the monster's back, almost like the monster had a hard shell back like a tortoise. That was when the monster killed another 2 guards, crushing one of them and smashing the other against a brick wall. And at this point, one of the locals that we do not know the name to. "Thunder, Sir Torrent, his name is Thunder." "My prince, you have returned." "Yes, Sir Torrent." "And where have you been, my son?" "Off playing with commoners, I assume," said Thunder's father. "Yes, Lord Father, off playing with commoners, the very same commoner that stopped that monster," Robert replied. "Still, my prince, you know this Thunder?" asked Sir Torrent. "Yes, Sir Torrent, he is one of my best friends." "Sorry for interrupting, Lord Father." "Please, Sir Torrent, continue," said Thunder. "My lord, yes, you may continue, Sir Torrent." "At once, my lord." "Okay, so I guess this Thunder charged in with a log, beating the monster over the head several times before the monster slashed him across the stomach and threw him a few feet backward. But that still did not stop Thunder. He got up and threw the log at the monster's side, knocking the monster down. Then, Thunder charged forward, stabbing the monster through the neck and severing the spine, killing the beast. Then, he passed out. End of chapter 1. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and if you guys have any suggestions or questions, please leave a comment down below.